Hello there everyone, Pigeon Detective here, and welcome to a new video on my channel. Now this is going to be a build guide on the Nomad gear set. This is also actually my first video on the Division. For those of you who don't know what the Nomad gear set is, obviously it's one of the gear sets that you get in once you get level 30 in the Division. The 2 set bonus is 15% health on kill. The 3 set bonus, it grants a constant small amount of healing, allowing the user to regenerate all segments of health of the health bar, even during combat. And the 4 piece is obviously when you receive fatal damage, you instantly get healed to full health. And this happens once every 4 minutes. So it is quite a strong thing. It's the thing that I'd recommend for solo players, and this is the reason why I want to show it off. I've been playing a lot of the Division more recently because of 1.6 and Last Stand. I feel like it's a very good update for the game, and it actually makes PvP rewarding. I've not actually ventured into the Dark Zone that much, but I'm absolutely loving Last Stand at the moment. So I'm going to start off with the holster. The armor's not the best, and the firearm stat could be a bit higher, but obviously you can see I've got 7% skill haste on the major attributes, and my performance mod for it is first aid self heal. I just can't seem to find a 6% first aid self heal for some reason. It's just avoiding me. It's just eluding me. So onto the knee pads. I've got a good roll on firearms. I've got health. I've got disorient, blind, deaf, and bleed resistance on it. Now I wish the disorient or blind or deaf was burn resistance or shock. They're the ones I'd rather have. On the knee pads, the god roll is obviously health, whatever main stat you want, and then bleed, shock, and burn resistance. That is the best knee pads you can have. And then I have a firearms with skill haste mod and a 6% first aid self heal mod on these knee pads. Going up onto the mask, you can't roll health on the mask in your major attribute, so skill power is what I'd recommend getting. My minor attribute, I have burn resistance, which is very good. It's just a shame I haven't got it on the knee pads. And then once again, I'm rolled into firearms. And my mod is obviously a firearms mod with health. Onto my gloves, I have quite a low roll in firearms because I got critical hit chance damage and SMG damage, which I re-rolled the gloves for. Obviously, I would like to have a higher firearms in set on this gloves, but it works for the purpose it needs. You can also, with the gloves, you can also roll them into whatever stat you want. So if you use assault rifles mainly, you can have assault rifle damage, LMG, shotgun, whatever suits the needs the best. And then onto my backpack, I actually have a specialised backpack with skill power on. You can have health, it makes you a bit tankier, but I find having the extra bit of skill power is actually better for this build. Just because it makes your heal do a bit more, it makes your pulse, if you're on pulse, have more damage, and it makes your skills cool down a bit faster, which in this build, because you haven't got much sustainability, you want. So having that heal back a couple of seconds earlier is better. With the minor attribute, I've got ammo capacity, always a good roll, but you could also want a bit, if you want a bit more resistance, you can also put burn, shock, or bleed, or whatever resistance you want there, if you've already got a god roll. And now the one thing I will mention, this is rolled with stamina. Now, the one roll with stamina makes me a bit more tanky. It makes me take a bit more damage before my ult pops or my Nomad ability pops. I just find it works better. The rest of them all have firearms, and obviously the holster has all 3. So I find having 4 firearms and then 1 stamina is best for this build. And then into my exotic chest piece, which is obviously the Barrett's bulletproof chest piece. Rolled into firearms again, a very good roll on firearms. I've got health, ammo capacity, and protection from elites. Now, I wish protection from elites on this was actually exotic damage resilience. It helps against seeker mines so much, just because you don't have to take all the damage from the fire or the explosive. It just cuts it down. And then, obviously, my mods, I have firearms and health mods. Now, they could be a bit higher rolled, but they'll do for now. It's all work in progress. I can always improve on it later. Now onto my weapons. I'm obviously running with the Liberator and a Navy MP5N. With the Liberator I have sustained, responsive and deadly. I would like something else instead of sustained. I don't have the requirements for unforgiving, so the dream for this would be unforgiving in the 3rd slot, deadly and responsive. That would be perfect. Obviously the Liberator pairs up very nicely with my pistol. And then we move on to my Navy MP5N, which has Deadly, Brutal and Responsive. Responsive is pretty much essential. Deadly is a lot better now that the SMGs have their crit chance back, which is also why I've got SMG damage on my gloves to synergize with this a bit better. The way I actually mod my guns is critical hit damage. Because the SMGs have got their natural crit chance back, you can get critical hit damage on pretty much all of your mods. And my Liberator, I mod for crit. Because I'm on a console, I don't want to go for headshot damage. Although it's nice, crit damage I find works so much better for me on console. Now onto my abilities, I am obviously running with a Concealer Pulse and a Booster Shot First Aid Heal. You can roll with something other than a Pulse. If you wanted a Shock Turret, it will work. But I'd like having a Pulse that it's more reliant on me getting the damage out rather than someone stunning someone. Plus, it lets me know my surroundings more. I can see through walls if they don't have a Concealed Pulse on. I can see how many enemies are in the area so I know whether to engage properly or not. It's very tactical. It's a very good decision to have that. And the first First Aid Heal, it obviously gives you an extra 10% damage and 10% resistance, so it's really good. I tend to use this once I'm actually in a fight. And then obviously for my ult, I have a recovery link. This actually pops not at the same time as the Nomad active 4th slot would pop. So your Nomad would pop first, your recovery link would pop afterwards, and then obviously you've got to wait for the cooldowns. For my talents, I have Critical Save, Strike Back, obviously for the low health, get cooldowns quicker so I can heal better. Precision, Headshot of target to pulse them, and On the Move. On the Move is great as long as you make sure you don't punch people in PvP when they're actually in a down state, because it's otherwise On the Move doesn't proc. There are a few variations you can run with this. If you have a Tenacious Mask instead of a specialised backpack, which also works very well, you could have Adrenaline, because you can pop a medkit first, get that extra 10% damage, and then halfway through the fight pop a booster shot to keep up the 10% damage. With Adrenaline, once you start a fight, you will also keep the health coming back, although unless they do enough damage to kill you, obviously. You don't also need to run a Tenacious Mask. If you want something else, you can do Savage Gloves. So there are some variations with this, but this is what I found works best for me. Obviously, you will need to experiment stuff for yourself and try it out to see what works best. But yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe for more. I've been Pigeon Detective, and I'll see you guys in the Dark Zone. Goodbye.